Hello, if you're watching this video, you've just finished setting up your Alpha Visual Novel project. You want to know how to make a visual novel from here. So, if you press play now, we'll have the default project, which I created just as an example quickly of how everything works and all of the game mode and everything like that. So, um, inside this plugin right now, we have the controller, default level, the game mode, the character widget, the choice button widget, the dialog widget, the main menu scene, the menu load panel, menu option panel, the menu save panel, the option menu for the menu panels, and the scene widget itself. We also have the story data table, which is where you will be doing most of your work to set up the visual novel that you want to create. Inside here, we have everything that's inside of the basic default project, which you will be able to see once you download the plugin. So for now, for us, we just need to delete everything in here, start with a fresh project, which you'll be doing if you would like to start your own. So to create a new row in the scene, it's as easy as clicking this add a new row to the data table, which adds a new row, and you can rename that anything you want, but I recommend, unless it's a major choice scene or something, just call it 1 for now. And it's the first scene, so I'd probably assume that you just want a basic scene. And to put a background image in, all you have to do is click on this drop down box and find the image you want from the assets inside of your game. I assume you know how to use assets, but if you don't, there's plenty of tutorials online, and I can link some in the description. So if you click on there, you have now got your reference to the background image blueprint, which would load a background image onto the scene of your choice. Now I want to add some dialogue, so this is my, actually let's capitalize that. It's my first visual novel. And that will just be displayed letter by letter on progressing forward in the scenes. If you want characters in the scene, you simply add a character to the character array, and you can have all of these variables for the character. So you want the name, let's call it Dan for now, why not? And then you've got a character image brush, which you'll need to add the image to, which we have two default male left and right. Just place that in there, and you have an image size. I'd recommend just leaving that the same. You can edit it you can edit it if you wish, and the tint just changes the color of whatever it is. So I can make this, well, I can make this like a dark blue if I wanted. Just change the image a little bit. And then of course you have, oops, no, once again, just close the image. You have the position of the player, of the character, not the player. In here you'll put the position you wish the character to be on, which I'm pretty sure default is left corner. So we'll make that say 100 and y is 0. And then the speaking character is just if you have more than one character in the scene, and you've already put the characters in the scene, and you wish the third character, say, in the array to be the speaking character, that just sets which name is displayed as the talking character. So by default this is set to 0, so whichever character is first in the array will be the named character on the dialogue. So you just need to change that for whichever character you want to speak. And choice options, this row doesn't need to be edited unless you're making a choice scene, which I'll show you how to do now. So you add a new row, and you call this choice 1, and pick a choice scene. Make it the same way we did before with the default background, the dialogue. How are you today? Simple as that. Add a character in. Dan again. Character image. Let's make it funky. Let's turn him around a little bit. Make him green this time. And size position to the same position as before. So once you've made everything for your choice scene, when you want to add a choice option, you want to add something to the array for every button you wish to have for an option. So for your first one, you have your story row link, which is a link to the row where your choice will be stored. The outcome to the choice will be stored. We don't have any choice outcomes yet, so we have to leave that for now. But the choice link is the name of the row at your row where the choice scene is. So that's just for if you're traversing back through and you get to this choice, it would link back to the row in which the choice is. The choice text what you want to put on, so it's also your response to the question asked by the character. Sorry, I thought it was in there. So in this case, we respond to how are you today, which would be something like I'm fine, thanks. And then we have a position which is just set to default at the moment. But if you were to add another one to the array, you would have to put an offset on the y-axis. You have to have about 100 between each of them. So if I add a second one, choice link, choice 1, not choice, yeah, choice 1, sorry. And I make the choice text, I'm sad. If you were to put 100 in, that would move it down by 1 position. If you put minus 100, that would move it up by 1 position. So that should appear above the first choice, which I don't want, I want it below. So now you have your two choices. Now to link these to the story, you add another row, and you need to name this something along the lines of choice out 1. Choice 1 out 1. And make it a choice outcome scene. Continue making the scene exactly how you made the last few, with the default scene background. The dialogue will be the response to your question. So in our case, he asked how we were. We said, fine, thanks, in this outcome. So now he says, that's great, for instance. So we add Dan back into the scene. Set his image. There is an easier way to do this. You can actually edit this all inside of a Excel document, which we can copy the first scene across multiple scenes. So you don't have to keep going back and doing this. You can just change very specific things. I'll do another video on that later. But just continue editing this in all way. Make some random color. Position. Same as before. And that's the end of that one. So we make another one. Choice 1 out 2. Again, choice outcome, default scene, dialogue is why are you so... No, we'll make it oh no. Add Dan back in again. This gets very repetitive, but it's a much easier than coding. position, same as before. Oops, don't need that, sorry, don't know why I added that. So that's the same as it was before, everything's fine in there. What we need to do now is go back to the first choice, and inside of the choice options, you get your story row link, and you make it same as the row you want to link to. So in this case, first option is choice out 1, and the next is choice 1 out 2. And now there is a rule with this, is if you have choice outcomes, you must have a basic scene afterwards, otherwise the game will not work. So because we need a new basic scene, we'll just name it number 2. It's the second basic scene. It's an easy way to keep track of basic scenes and choices. Make it the same way as I did before, background scene, dialogue, the end. Now, here's the problem. I tried to make this video earlier, and turns out I haven't actually added in a safety net for if there's no characters, which I will add very, very shortly, because that's a problem. So just for now, just add in a character, because if you try and not add in a character, it will crash game. I'll fix that in probably about the next day or something. I'll fix it very soon. But if you don't want it on the screen, just like set X to -200. It'll be there, but it won't be displayed. Character name won't matter, I don't think. So if we try running that now, it should be fine. If I press play, start game, get this my first visual. How are you today? I'm fine, thanks. That's great. The end. So that's about it. The only other thing I could show you is the widgets. With these you can edit them completely yourself. So you can change the defaults completely. This is probably not the best one to show you. If I show you, say, the dialogue widget, you can change anything you want. So this would always be this way. You can change the brush image to anything. You can change to that. It makes it like a weird pinky color. Compile and save that. It would come up like that in the game. And if you change other things like the main menu, you can set a background image. So currently it would just be grey. Or even buttons and things. You can change all the displays of the buttons. So you can completely customize it yourself. You can make it however you want. You can change positions for everything. You can do literally whatever you want with it. It's very powerful. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you make a very good visual novel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.